friends, it's Nancy. It's Friday night. I thought I'd just check in and let you know about a new book that I found today that you might be interested in. So I was at the thrift store and I found this book. It's called The Flowers of May, and I didn't think much of it. I got it home. I paid $2 for it. It's a big book. It's 9 by about 11 and a half. And I thought, well, that'll be good. So I brought it home and started tearing it apart. There are some smaller images and some maps, but huge botanical images. I'm not even going to be able to get the whole thing on camera. So I put some of my favorites on the top to just give you a flip through. The back just has a small description on the bottom of the facing page, so this isn't the description of this, although in the script at the bottom the flower is identified. And these were painted in the 1830s. I love violets, violas. This is a wild rose and another wild rose. I think these are cornflowers. So these are some of my favorites. But there's, I want to say like 83 pages or something. There's even some flowers that don't exist in Britain anymore. I think I read that this one doesn't exist in Britain anymore. Some of these are grasses, which are really pretty. But otherwise it's mostly wildflowers. There's some berries. So keep an eye out for this when you're out and about. The size of these would make them a good page in your average signature, because you can fold it in half. You'll have image on both sides, blank page here, and then something you can cover. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. I did get some other interesting stuff, but I'll save that for later in the weekend. I'll share this one more time. It's called The Flowers of May, and it's the artist is Caroline May, and the author is Richard Mabey. And I believe this is from 1990. Anyway, so I thought maybe that was one you hadn't seen before. I'm still organizing my paper. A never-ending battle with the paper. I was watching Roxy Creations last night, and she was making collaged envelopes. So I got a credit card offer today from NBNA, and I'm just gonna, I've already cut it open, and I'm gonna work on collaging that tonight. So I've also got my other pages. Oh, I want to show you one other book I got that I've already taken apart. So this is a German book. I couldn't find a date in it because the first few pages were missing. I'll show you I've gutted it already. Look at the old newsprint in there. And I love the design of the end papers. Isn't that beautiful? Unfortunately, there wasn't a facing end paper for me to steal. It had a couple of color images. So I'm thinking this is probably turn of the century, late, 1880s, 90s. But the text is what I would want to show you. It's gorgeous paper, but look at the German text. Isn't that amazing? I'm going to save a piece of that for my envelope. Some little monster went through this with pencil and did some decorating on their own. This was a really weird book too. It wasn't stitched in. The individual signatures were actually stapled into the binding. I've never seen that before in old or new books too. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you tonight. And I will come back and give you an update after I've done a little bit of crafting. Alright, so I'm back. And I'm out of the cradle, so hopefully you won't get seasick watching this. So I made my business envelope collage. And I just used scraps that were in my scrap bin. Plus that, that old German text from that old book. This image was from a Reader's Digest. So I stitched around it, and then afterwards I thought, what am I going to do with this? Because it's, what is it? It's 9.5 inches long. It's not going to fit in any journal that I make. So I've made one. I guess I can cut it down, but it's kind of a shame that I went to all that work and not thinking, what are you going to do with it, Nance? Anyway, so there it is. My little envelopes, I finished off, everything's sewn, and I just glued a little bit of ribbon on the back to wrap around and tie. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'll just open one so you can see what the guts look like. Which I will open with my left hand. So I've got a couple little fabrics on there, a little bit of lace. I used music paper to line the inside, sort of a neutral kind of scrapbook paper there that has a little thumb hole so I can use it as a pocket. And behind all these little scraps is another piece of scrapbook paper, and I just layered up some various scraps and stitched them together behind a couple of pieces of lace, and that is my project. So yesterday and about an hour this morning I spent making these journals. There's 17 of them. They're all old Reader's Digests. I did my best to sort of match the fabric to the cover. So these so for example, this has got like a bit of compass on it, and then it has these compasses on the front. This one as well. Some of them are not perfect, but you know, they're all right. Kind of pastel colors there. I like this one. And thought that was sort of pretty. Where'd my that's the moose. There's my seahorses. So I thought that turned out nice. I had forgotten that I had like some of these fabrics. These ones I forgot I had. These I forgot I had. This one, the colors match really, really well, and I'm trying to imagine the cover as sort of thorny undergrowth. I'll probably add a picture of a pink rose or something, but I love this fabric, and the color matches exactly. Maybe it's not showing up really well in the camera image, but even the background of the fabric matches the background. This one's kind of different. I love this kind of collage-y look, and the colors bring out some of the dots of colors in there. So that's what I've been working on this weekend. The reason I did 17 covers is because I thought, oh, there's going to be a lot of time savings doing them in bulk like this, you know, just sort of putting them out like an industrial um, factory line, you know. And I think that's true because I was able to, you know, cut one thing 17 times instead of going back and forth. And because was using a lot of scraps, I was able to pull out scraps 17 at a time instead of going back and forth to the scrap bin 17 times. So I think that's effective. Also, I had all of these books, and if I didn't do something with them, they were going to just lay there. So I'm one step closer to having actual journals made. The method that I use is based on the Scholar's Ledger Victorian Ladies Handbook that Nick the Booksmith has on Teachables. I have sort of altered it, adapted it to suit my needs. So my steps are slightly different, but I do love how it really comes out in the end with that nice ridge. Anyway, this one is another one that I thought really turned out nice. The brown and the pink tulips match with this fabric really nicely. Okay, so I hope you've had a really productive weekend. We've been under cold advisory, very, very cold temperatures and snow, and the roads are a mess, but that's okay because I haven't really wanted to do anything anyway. So, yeah, we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. I'm just going to do a little midweek craft with me kind of thing again tonight. I taped a couple of short things on the weekend that I'll tag on to the end, but in the meantime, thought I'd bring you up to speed. So yesterday was my birthday, and it was a good birthday. I turned 50, and 50 is pretty good so far. So I was teaching a workshop yesterday morning. Well, I shouldn't say was teaching it. I was testing it with a group of really great people, and so I spent the morning with them. And midway during the session, 3 staff. I was at a different agency altogether that I've been partnering with for about a year and a half now. Been working on a couple of really big projects with them. Anyway, 3 managers from that agency popped in and brought me this beautiful orchid. So I took a picture of this orchid, and so that was really exciting, and everybody's saying happy birthday to me. I'm surprised that this orchid isn't dead yet because I'm a horrible plant mother. So, but so far so good. So I've got a picture of that. Here's the tag that came from my orchid. I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. And last night my youngest son took us out for dinner to the Crossroads, and this is us just making faces. Got our tongues hanging out, and that went on Facebook last night. So that's how I got the picture, was stealing it from my son's Facebook. And because it was my actual birthday, I got a gift certificate for I want to say it was $5 off the next visit or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. So using these things, I thought I would do a little bit of an embellishment and pop it into my day-to-day journal. So let's get started on that. So an envelope, it's really too big. So what I thought I'd do is make it into a tuck spot. First things first, I should probably let you know that I'm kind of a weird cutter. So I don't like using cutters, although I own 2 of them and they are they're within arm's length. I have been a quilter for a very, very long time, so I like using my rulers from quilting. It just seems more square to me. So I am going to cut this. It's kind of a shame I'm not, well, you know what? I'm going to move it down a bit, so maybe I can use the happy birthday in a different page. Because actually next Tuesday is my husband's birthday. We're exactly a week apart. And I just use a regular utility knife. Although I have a rotary cutter, an X-Acto knife, there's 4 pairs of scissors in front of me. I like a utility knife. So this is one like from the wallpaper store. And I like it because I have my pliers and I can just snap off a blade when it starts to get a little dull. So I'm going to hang on to the happy birthday part. Maybe I can use that next week. Let's glue that closed with this. And yeah, yesterday was a good day. Both my husband and I have January birthdays, and I think I've probably mentioned it before that we always refer to them as corduroy birthdays because we both have a number of siblings, and so our siblings who had birthdays that weren't just a few weeks after Christmas, they always got, you know, really good birthday presents, and you'd get corduroys. Yeah, so that's what January birthdays are all about. But because we both understand how awful that is, we always make a big deal. So hubby and I are planning a big trip this spring. We're gonna go to England, and we're gonna do one of those excursions where, you know, the bus picks you up and you go, and the guide takes you wherever you're supposed to go and tells you what to do. We figured that would be really stress-free and we'd hit all the important things, and we just we're not picking like a really fast-paced kind of a thing, but yeah, I want to do a little fun thing there. I need a circle punch. Hello, circle punch. This was just a little over 4, so maybe I'll do both. Anyway, so that's because it's a milestone birthday for me. That's what our big plan is. And I'm looking forward to that. So I think this picture's going to slide right in there. I don't know why it's not sliding right in there. Oh. A little turned up edge on the inside. Well, that's annoying. Try that again with feeling. Yeah, it just slides right in there. Okay. So what I need to do is put a pulley thing on there. I could do a ribbon, or I do have What do I have? I think I actually have, maybe I'll put it on an index card. Oh, I know what I'll do. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Hang on. It's about to get really exciting. So what do I have here? Okay. So I've got this index card that says cakes on it. So what if I put the picture right on there and we use the cakes index card to pull it out? What do you think of that? It's a little rough. So I might take the extra to sort of reinforce that. And I'm going to trim the photo down just a smidger so there's a bit of a border. What do you think of that? Where are ya? Oh shoot. And here I was saying how much I appreciate being able to measure things really. Alright. I think I'll get out this glue. It'll just set up a little faster. As soon as I can get it to come down. I went through a ton of glue on the weekend. Had to go and get some more. Had a coupon at Michael's, so that was good. I had this other card, but I didn't think it was bright enough. And it said cakes and pastry, not just cakes. I just wonder why I'm always wearing plaid. To be honest, it's not that I'm always wearing plaid, but I'm always wearing my nightgown. As soon as I come home, off comes my bra and my pants. I love getting into my nightgown, hiding in my little room. Okay. There we go. That looks good. So I'm going to trim up this photo so that it has a little bit of a border. This is a piece of glass on cardboard that I use. I think I've demonstrated that before. Okay, where can I take off? I can probably take a little bit off this edge and that edge. So let's try for a full quarter. Well, take an eighth off this side and an eighth off the other side. Otherwise, the image won't be centered anymore. Isn't of great having cell phones that takes photos now. My mom, she's a big scrapbooker, and she just loves being able to take the kids and the grandkids and the great-grandkids photos off in the internet and print them and scrapbook them, and then she surprises us with these beautifully made, I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom, scrapbook pages and albums. So I wonder, I could put some photo corners on there, but that might cause it to get stuck even more. So I think I'm going to avoid that. Now I could probably add a little something to the tab. What do you think? I feel like some fancy ribbon would be nice, like a birthday gift would be tied up in, or maybe a little, I don't know, or maybe like a paper doily that you would, you know, like it might be under a cake. Let's try a couple of things. Okay, let's see what we got. Well, I think these are pretty vintage. Look how they spelled doilies. The price was $1.98. They're kind of interesting looking. So what if I made like a little fan or something? Let's cut it. And impossible to fold when it's that stiff. Sorry, I'm thinking. What do I think of that? And yeah, that's pretty raggedy. I wonder if I have any seam binding in that color. Not really yellow, it's kind of more of a gold. This one's, oh, that's fun. This one I think is really old. Looks like it's been through the wars. This one's a little too brown. So what if I got my stapler? Come on, glue. Stick that there, and then maybe I'll just put a little staple there, and then I can tie a bow. See how that goes. Give this a little twist. Now, I always have to remind myself how to tie the bow because it's opposite to the way I tie my shoes. And that way both of the bumps and both of the tails hang the same way if I do it opposite to my shoes. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, I was looking for the case for my scissors. Alright. I hope this was all in frame while well, that's not bad. Okay. Get this out of my way. So the Crossroads is a place, oh, about 15 kilometers north of us, and it's a buffet, and it's really like homemade, plain food, and nothing too fancy. And the desserts, oh my word, the desserts are incredible. There's like 19 kinds of pie, I think. They had a gorgeous pork roast last night. I had the beef and some fish. And it's really good for men because you get full. So what would I like to do with my orchid? So I have some dictionary paper. This isn't exactly like I wanted it. Maybe I'll ink that up a bit. I've lost my distressing tool stamp thing. I don't know where I put it. I lost it while I was cleaning. I have all of the extra pads coming out the yin yang, but I don't know where I put the tool itself. Yeah, I'm sure it'll turn up. So I've got this yellow. There was also this brochure that was in the envelope, but I don't need that. Yeah, let's see about inking this up a bit with this, what's it called? Amber? Fossilized amber. Most of the staff, I believe, at this restaurant are also Amish, Mennonite. So oftentimes the meals themselves kind of have a German sort of flair to them. So there's, you know, big sausages, and there's, you know, different pork things. I'm not sure how much I'm liking this either. But it's better. I'm just going to glue it in. Otherwise, I'll make myself crazy. I think it's time to put some more, whatchamacallit in here, acetone. That's what I'll do. So let's get this in first. And you can get plain 100% acetone. You don't have to get the kind that's got color and stuff in it. I'm sure that just came from the drugstore. I don't think we got it at any place special. And just adding a little bit. I feel like maybe I already taped this before. Just adding a little bit really thins it out a bit, makes it easier to use. Just a spoonful. Oh shit. Oop. Well, now you know what a filthy mouth I have. Luckily, I still have Kleenex here, although I am well on the mend now. I still feel weak, like I have no energy. When I come home at night, I just want to go to bed. It's really a struggle. Okay, I think that's good. Orchid picture. Well, I like that all together. We'll give that a little bit of vintage photo. Oh, there was a bit of glue booger in there. It was like this at work today too. I think I made like 47 mistakes in about 12 minutes. I was writing the date wrong. I was entering fax numbers wrong. Yes, we still use a fax machine. After we let the dinosaurs out. So I spent a lot of time swearing at work today too, although I did get a lot done. And it was just a paperwork day for me. I went in jeans. I wore my husband's socks and my husband's t-shirt today because I know it's mushy, but I was just wanting to feel close to him. So I locked myself in my office and just worked. I think I'm going to give that a little bit of stitching. Get some garbage off the table. Does this need some ribbon? No, it needs to be a little less square. I think I'll just give this a little bit of a zigzag around there. So for sure I have not used my sewing machine on camera before, but we can give it a try. And when it first starts zigzagging, it goes in like 3 times. So I like to start it on a scrap of paper. Just so I can make that a little narrower, just so that there isn't going too many holes in the paper. Keep going, boys. Weather has been crazy. We finally got winter and it was brutal cold. I think Monday was the worst. Yesterday was better. And then today it went well above. We had a heavy snow last night because it was such a wet snow. And then this afternoon it started to rain. So I imagine it's going to be quite a nightmare tomorrow when the temperature goes down overnight and everything freezes. So we'll see what that has in store for us. So this might be difficult to see, but I want to bring the thread to the back. So if I tug this side, it brings a little loop, and then I can pull it through. I don't necessarily tie it off because I'm going to be gluing this down, but if it was going to be hanging loose, I would probably tie that off. I think I'd like to add like a postage stamp. Let's see what we got in postage stamp land. Probably want something cute bird, but not what I'm looking for. Is that an orchid? I have no idea. I can't read it. It's too small. What do you think? Is that an orchid? Maybe we'll just go with something yellow. I'll have one more look. Got most of these stamps at a yard sale in the summer. Ooh, there's absolutely an orchid. That's a definite possibility. And what's this? I bet you that's a kind of orchid too. I kind of like those colors. And throw out nothing in there. These I got at a thrift store. They were marked 50 cents, but it was 75% off at Tag that day, so I paid 12 cents for this package. They're all Israel. I might have already shown you that. I do have some other sort of floral looking ones too. I feel like that's gonna work for me. It's hard to choose. Well, if I fuss too long, it'll never get done. So let's just do it. Oh, I was going to see what a plain yellow one looked like. I don't have very many plain yellow. Like, these ones are so old. Can't even read them. Nope, too much. These ones I bought at an auction. They were in, I bought some old stamp albums and just pulled them out of the stamp album. Is that too much flowers? Okay, I'm down to this one. Or this one. That's the one. That's the winner. Done. Okay. I I should sort these out sometime while I'm doing all my sorting. I'm still working on my 10-week reorganization of my craft room. I'm just looking at that to see if it needs like a little border. No, let's not mess around any longer. Did you see what I just did? I took the whole lid off. Oh my gosh. Nancy, you poor thing. Oh, this is from the Congo. So it must be an age too, because it says it's Belgique. Okay, I'm putting it down. Ta-da! And it's gonna have to go on another page. Maybe I'll put it in here and then do a little journaling about what I did. Looks good. So, I hope this was more fun than annoying. I guess what I wanted to demonstrate is that, you know, journaling is something anybody can do, and it's I find it very relaxing, and I think exercising the creative side of your brain is good exercise. I have a tab that has January on it too, I think. I'm not going to use it because it'll get too full. See how I decided that so quickly? Where's my pen? This isn't my good pen, but it's a pen. So this was January 22nd. I might add some more later, but that'll do for now. I don't think I'm going to use this card, but I might stick it I'm going to take the string off because that's just annoying, but I might stick it in a box of actual legit ephemera that I have and use it for something else at some point. So maybe I would, you know, cover the inside as a little journaling space. Yeah, I would probably do that. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Hope you found this interesting, if not annoying. And we will check in again with you soon. Take care.